resources extracted and exported compared to actual revenues collected by the government from mining taxes, royalties, and fees?
We are actually collecting more or less 40 billion a year today. With the new mining tax that is now in the office of the president, we will be able to collect 5 billion more. So from 40 to 45. With regard to your other question, we don't have the figures right now.
Thank you for your response. We also take note po no, nung recently ratified rationalization of the mining fiscal regime. While long overdue, it still primarily signals to the continuous large-scale extraction and depletion of our finite resources. So, Madam Chair, if our natural wealth is being depleted without securing a fair and lasting share for our nation, can the Honorable Secretary provide what real benefit do we stand to gain from this rationalization?
We are actually adding royalty outside mineral reservation and imposing windfall profit tax.
Yes. What we're doing here is adding royalty
Outside mineral reservation.
outside the mineral reservation and imposing a windfall profit tax on mining companies.
Okay. Thank you for the clarification. I'd like to note that on the other part of the question regarding dun sa actual revenues collected by the government, it was not provided an answer. May we request the data vis-a-vis no, doon sa mineral resources extracted and exported?
Yes. We will provide the committee with some of the data. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. And I hope the committee secretariat notes the commitment doon sa pag-provide ng data na yun. And maybe can I have the last question po, Madam Chair? Okay.
Go ahead, last question,
Okay.
Representative Ko.
In relation lang po doon sa presentation earlier that was provided that shows the disparity between the corporate tax versus the individual tax and excise taxes. May I ask the DBM and DOF if they're considering or will they consider a wealth tax into a broader fiscal reform package aimed at reducing inequality and the constitutional principle of a progressive tax system?
We will not oppose your suggestions if you pass one in Congress.
Thank you, Honorable Secretary. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much, Representative Ko. Next to interpolate from the Majority, Vice Chairperson Ferdinand Hernandez.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Unang-una, thank you to the economic team for making education number one again. Medyo marami ang natuwa. So my question actually is in relation to, since education is number one in the budget, and I think you've increased the budget for state universities, Commission on Higher Education, and TESDA. So I delivered a privileged speech last week regarding UniFast. Naman yung UniFast, especially the tertiary education subsidy. During my last term in Congress, students were receiving 60,000, 30,000 per semester for provinces, cities where there is no
ComSec, microphone please.
during my last term in Congress, the grantees of the Unifast scholarship received 30,000 per semester, especially in areas where there is no state colleges and universities, no local universities and colleges. However, I'm now a comebacking congressman. Yung subsidy, yung TES, Tertiary Education Subsidy, from 60,000 now down to 13,500 per semester, which is 27,000. So napakalaki ng discrepancy. So what's the result of this? Based on the EDCOM reports, of course, a lot of students drop out. And I don't think this is what we call a subsidy. Because for 13,500, what can you do with 13,500? It cannot even pay the right course that they want. So ang tendency mo, you will just look for a course na pasok doon sa 13,500. And it doesn't make sense because the purpose of giving subsidy is to give them freedom to select courses that they want and be able to graduate. So, since this is really a very important issue, especially in Region 12, no? Kasi ilan lang ang state colleges dyan. So, marami, especially in my district, City of Coronadal, where all the private higher education institutions are really benefiting from the test. So my question now, from originally, from 30,000, naging 10,000 per semester. I think last budget, they increased it to 13,000. So malayo pa rin yung 13,500 to what they used to enjoy, 30,000 per semester. And for the grantees in SUCs and LUCs, they used to get 20,000 per semester or 40,000 a year. Ngayon, 10,000 per semester. So, since education is number one in the Constitution and priority now, I don't know if the economic team look into this situation because it's getting to be unfair to sayang yung batas na to eh. Marami nang natulungan para maraming huminto. Pero marami pa rin umaasa na maibalik sa dati. Of the original, in my district, of the original, I think 30,000 grantees, only 700 are enjoying the 60,000 sa original. So balik na sa 13,500. So malaking bagay ito sa Mindanao, lalo na siyempre malayo kami. And the private schools, higher education, are trying to compete with Manila. No? So hanggang doon lang kaya ng mga estudyante na wala pa yung subsidy. So my question to the economic team, will there be an increase in the TES subsidy this year? Kasi inaabangan ito ng mga estudyante ngayon.
The amount provided in previous years was as approved by the Unifast board. In the law, there's a board who actually determines the amount of subsidy for the students. What's the good news is that we have a new chair, and then when we sat with Chairman Agrupis, she already made mention that they will review this provision, the amount for the subsidy.
Well, that's good news, no? So if they will review, hopefully, it will be included in this budget. Kasi masyado nang na-delay yung subsidy na nabawasan. So it will be good news, but if it will be included in next year's budget.
Yes, Madam Chair, it's already included in the budget. It will just depend on the final amount that they will have to agree in the board.
Okay. Thank you, Secretary. My second question. Region 12, our regional hospital used to be the Cotabato Regional Medical Center. And Cotabato City used to be the seat of the regional center of Region 12. However, during the time of former President GMA, she issued an executive order transferring from Cotabato to Coronadal City as the regional seat. And most of the patients in CRMC are actually from ARMM, now BARM area. So 95%. And Cotabato City is not at the center of Region 12. However, with this situation, I passed a law on my second term, on my first term, that we should be given a new regional hospital, considering that the regional seat is now transferred to Coronadal, and 95% of the patients in CRMC are from BARM area. So, medyo unfair on the part of other provinces that we cannot even be accommodated in CRMC. Now, on my second term, I passed a law maliit lang naman yung hinihingi ko eh. Bakit ako pinapatayan? Anyway, on my second term, I passed a law creating a new regional hospital. So naintindihan na nila yung sitwasyon namin na dapat talaga magkaroon na ng bagong regional hospital. So it was approved during my second term. We call it Socsarjan General Hospital. And then, BARM law was passed. Now, Cotabato City is part of BARM now. So with more reason that the law creating CRMC as a regional hospital was overtaken by events. The transfer, the BARM law, the distance, and most of the bypass road, access road leading to the SGH are now almost done. Billions na po yung nagastos natin na nagawa na yung mga daan from other provinces leading to the hospital. But the sad reality is that nawala ako ng 3 taon eh. Now I'm comebacking. Pagbalik ko, yung level ng SGH is not even at the level of provincial hospital. So kawawa naman yung buong Region 12. Hanggang ngayon, wala kaming tinatawag na regional hospital. DOH is giving us a piecemeal development. Hindi naman dapat piecemeal development kasi na-deprive kami ng regional hospital. Nagkaroon nga kami. Pero hanggang ngayon, hindi man umaabot sa level ng regional. So what I'm asking from the economic team, siguro sa buong Pilipinas, yung Region 12 lang, ang may regional hospital na bago na cannot even be at the level of a provincial hospital. Wala mang ICU. Wala mang... ang daming kulang na doktor, maraming kulang na specialista, doktor at nurses. But the new regional, the new DOH regional office is a more than 200 million building, funded also during my time. And the regional warehouse, first time in Mindanao, and nasa Region 12, pati laboratory. But the sad part is that we don't have a regional hospital level. So, ang hinihingi ko lang po sa economic team to try to look at our situation. Kasi hindi na to hindi to politika, buhay na po ang kapalit dito na of all the regions in the entire Philippines, yung Region 12 lang ang walang tinatawag na makatarungang regional hospital. So, I'm asking especially Secretary from Mindanao to look into our situation and help Region 12 be able to, and DOH to cope up with the needs of the medical needs of the Region 12.
Representative Hernandez, time is up. Last question.
Yes.
Hindi kasama yung pag-off nung mic kanina.
Hindi po kasama, but still overtime na po.
Yes, Madam Chair. But again, maybe we will study that, and then in close coordination also to BARM. We know that, please note also that the budget for Bangsamoro